Alright, so we will discuss here SOAP service. SOAP service. Like we discussed in REST, every service needs to have a package. So we already have created one package during the REST service. So we will use that package. Um, for the SOAP, you're creating a service. That means someone else will be calling your service, right? So they will send you the request. So request is incoming. Okay, so which rule will we use to convert that request from XML format um, to clipboard? We will need to use XML parse. Then of course there will be service, and through service we will run the activity to do the job for us. And then the response has to be converted back from clipboard to XML using XML parse. Sorry, stream. XML stream. Okay, so whatever service we built in the REST, I'm going to replicate the same thing basically. So let's see, we already have integration class and everything. We can utilize those class. We do not need to create it again. You can refer the REST video, how we created the classes. This one, service, right? So we have response data model and everything set up there. Okay, we will do exact same processing. We can reuse the activity as well. Okay, it's just that it is going to be a different service this time. Okay, so I'm going to create a service in this integration class, and this is this time going to be SOAP. We will have to create the mapping rules as well. So this is get app status. So package is b3 pkg. That's what we had created earlier. Okay, so the primary class is going to be the service class itself. We will not need any other class. Service, any data transform do we want to run? No. So by default, a page will be created of this class. That will be your primary page. Basically you can refer everything from here only. Okay, activity, you can call the same activity, because this activity does exact same thing. It actually gets the data from the primary page. It gets the case id. You remember, see, from the primary it is getting the case id, PYID, and then using that to get the data. That's it. And then it's setting that on the response. We can reuse the response property as well. Okay. And go to the request. Now, in the request, actually, we don't need to specify any header, but here data type is going to be, one second, string. Name is case ID. They will have to send that. And this will be mapped to, you can directly map to clipboard, or you can use XML literal. Let's use XML literal because we already know how to do that from the clipboard. Okay, so this time we will create a parse rule. XML parse rule is what we need to specify here. Okay, and we will have to create a parse rule. So we will create request parser. Create a new XML parse record. Root name is going to be request. So request is, see, it automatically creates. Request is going to be of the same class. Okay, so but we need to create a property for that. Actually, so 1 second. Let's create a request class. Okay, under the request class, we will create that ID. We already have the ID property, right? That's on the base class, so it should be fine. But we will have to create a property for the request class under the service class. So data model property request page service request. But now I can use this property for the context. It's not going to hold the value. It's just going to have the context page, no property value. Under this, I'm going to add another element, and that's where the ID will be mapped to. So it's ID, which will be stored into the property PYID. Okay, so this is where this is mapped. So I have an XML parse rule which will accept the request under the PYID under the request tag in the XML. Okay, let's see. Good, request is submitted. Now response again XML literal and map from stream rule. Actually it's not giving us XML streams, just copy paste it here, remove it from here, and we will have to create response. So XML, let's create, this is XML type map from. Okay, this is map from, this was request, fine. So response XML, this is the root. Under that we will add one element which will be for the status. You remember the property we have for the, actually 1 second, this response XML should have context, page context of response. Good. And then this one will have one property for the status, app status. And then I need to add one more element, which is again page structure. So it will only, whenever it is page, you will have to change, set the context page only, not the property. You do not need to specify the property. So this is just contain the XML response. And then under the cust, you will add different element for those properties. So first element is CID, then one more first name, then one more last name, then one more DOB, then one more email ID, then one more phone number, then one more for title. That's it. Save it. Py node name cannot be blank. Oh, sorry. App status. I haven't given the node name. Save it. Okay. Hmm, response. Phone number, title, email ID. So it's saying CID, DOB, last name, first name, email ID. Pretty much everything that it's saying it's invalid. This is a page. Do I have to specify no value? Context page is fine, standard. Why it's showing that error? Just a minute, guys. Alright, so let's see why these errors are coming. I'm going to remove all these first and let's add one by one, okay? It's still saying that response is okay. Okay, this is saved. Now in the customer, let's add again. Oh, it's B3 class. That's why application rule set. Where this customer is created. B3 application Okay, say title, first name, last name. Okay, I'll leave this much at the moment. We can add others later. Let's go back to this one and select the response XML. Map from response XML. This is done. Activity is done. Everything is done. Let's save it. Okay, what does it say? Root element. Root element is, what is the root element of this? Request only. So this should be request. Same thing here too. Response. And key for specifying how should be mapped. The root node of XML system should have the namespace. Have a namespace. Let's open this. Okay. All right. So this is saved. Now this is created in this package. Okay. Your service is ready for others to consume. But you remember when we were creating the connectors, we needed WSDL. So when someone else is going to connect to your service, SOAP service, they will also need that. Where do we find that? We can find that on the service package. So on this service package, we have a REST service, that's okay, and SOAP service. And this is the WSDL that has been generated. Like that, let's try to consume this service from an external system, which is basically running it from the SOAP UI.
Valla.
Okay, see the request automatically got created. Now let's run it for a case. Okay, did we get the response? Everything is null, 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 null. CID DOB title null. Okay, let's look at this. Hmm, So my service page is the primary page. I think we will have to do just this modification in the service activity. Let me save as this, okay? We will not disturb the SOAP one, sorry, REST one. So that's where basically the ID will be request will be set. Oh, actually we created a request property, right? That's why we were not able to. It's no longer directly on the ID. It's actually on my service page dot request dot pyd. That's where it is. Okay. Now let's run this again. Okay, so my service page, this class, that's where under the request pyd is being set, right? Under request, we are setting on the pyd property. So, and in the activity, we are not this one. Oh, I think I did not change the activity here. Yeah, save it. Now, if we run it again, it's giving us the result. Okay, you can add other fields in the XML stream which were left. So basically, last name, first name, DOB, and everything is added. Title is added. Phone number and email ID. Let's run this again. So phone number and email ID should also be coming up now, right? So this is how it's similar to REST, only it's just that it's no longer direct JSON conversion. You will have to use two more rules: XML parse rule to parse incoming data from XML to clipboard, and XML stream rule to convert the clipboard data into XML that can be sent across. Other than that, rest of the things are similar. All right, so that's where we will conclude basically the SOAP service. Next, we will talk about another service which is file listener. But this session concludes here.